3, 2, 1.
But I am going very speedy now. Oh my god. An egg. Whoa! Making way too much quick wire.
Now with the incoming changes, each valid vehicle will have their own path preset that you can use. These will have their own individual max turn angles, each calibrated with their specific turning ability in mind.
What?
A universal path is also available. To create a valid path, you first need to build and complete a loop. And you'll know it's valid and complete when the path turns blue. To then make your paths actually usable, you have to connect them to truck stations first. Paths can only be placed on smooth terrain, and abrupt height changes will invalidate that path. That applies to foundations too, and removing a foundation will invalidate the path. Building that 10-lane mega highway is no longer just a dream. Or a nightmare. Probably a nightmare.
Howdy folks, welcome back to Satisfactory, and today we are driving past the nuclear facility because there is now a new road connected to the northern side of the map. We're going to the oil fields I found last episode, where I'm going to build some electromagnetic control rods. For that lot. Bridge! With a high-up bridge, there's also... I'm unsure about this, because I think I might have to use a roundabout, but we also have some train tracks put in. And we have a big old train bridge. Ow. We got a road going off into the desert, where we may hopefully start using all of that iron, because I really would like to try and do that. There is so much. Look at it all. Gonna be quite an adventure to do that. And we also have a road going off this way. I've split it into two. One stays high up in case we need to get to the upper cliff over here. And one that goes down below. Weaving this road through this terrain was quite interesting. But I think I managed it. And for the time being, it just goes over here. So I brought the truck so that I have a pile of resources. As you can see, I need to build 50 refineries at the moment. We need 40 refineries to turn the oil into plastic and heavy oil residue, and then 10 more refineries to turn the heavy oil residue into petroleum coke. We're going to make a whole bunch of steel pipe. I need to hook up the crude oil. I think I might need to get some iron ore. There's 2 impures and a normal over here, which would be fitting. Over here there is a bunch of pure. There's also some copper. Some iron over here. There's not a lot of iron in this little archipelago, is there? That's fine. Let's have a quick moochie over here. I'm being attacked. Don't try it, I have a gun. And one day I will be producing homing missiles. Or homing ammo. Homing missiles. That are monsters! Okay, there's 1 iron ore there. And then there's 2 more impure ones. Ooh, there's a pod. There's 2 more impure ones somewhere. Ah, there it is. Oh, it's right next to the pylon I did before. That's useful. So this one's impure, right? Yes, and then the other one is back this direction. Aha! Okay, so we have 1,200 iron ore. I am going to need to leave, I think, because I will need to duplicate the... I will need to duplicate copper ore and caterium ore. So that's going to require a lot of water, which means building out in the ocean at some point. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that road down over here and across this water. And I'm going to build a pile of factories right here. We're going to turn the crude oil into the plastic and the heavy oil residue, then turn the heavy oil residue into petroleum coke, the petroleum coke into not copper pipes, steel pipes, and a few other things. And then I'm going to build another pile of refineries over in the ocean and duplicate our Caterium ore and copper ore, wherever we're going to pull that from, but that's a later issue. And then build, I think, a third pile of machines to turn the Caterium and copper into the pieces necessary to put all those together, and then finally produce the control rods. And I think all of that's going to take like 180 assemblers. So that's the plan for the first part of this episode. I'm going to build the control rods, and then I might mess around with some road stuff because of the update that's coming. Exciting. Here we go. Whee! Sploosh. Ta-da! So this is the first stage of the factory done. We have a road going down to the beach. If we drive over here, I'm driving over a tree. And to keep everything flowing, I'm sinking the product. Useful. So I'm slowly getting the hang of the pipes now. I'm really not having much trouble with the pumps anymore. Everything seems to be flowing perfectly fine. So we've got 600 crude oil over here, and another 600 crude oil behind this building over here. And they're being put into these two towers. So one pipe of 600 crude oil is going into a tower of 20 refineries, and the other pipe is going to another building of 20 refineries. Each tower's producing 400 plastic and 200 crude oil. The plastic is being sunk, but that will go into assemblers later on to produce AI limiters. The heavy oil residue is coming over this side of the road into 10 refineries to produce 1,200 petroleum coke. Which is here. They're coming over this direction into the messy pelt work, and they're going into 16 foundries to make some steel. Now the iron, that's what that looks like. Now I didn't make it pretty, because if there is a road update coming, it might be fun to change all this out for trucks. So this is going to be left like this until that update drops on console, which might take a few weeks, who knows. So 1,200 iron ore and 1,200 petroleum coke is making 1,600 steel ingots, as you can see. And they're going into how many is this? I don't remember. It's going into 56 constructors. I finally made use of a tip that I got in the comment quite a while ago, which is if you put in these, the lift floors, you can actually make lifts as high as you want. You don't have to stagger them like over here. As you can see, there's a limit to how high you can actually build them. But if you start all the way up there, you can pull the lift all the way as low as you want, or as high as you want, providing there's a connection. Which meant I could make a stack of 14 constructors. Which is fun. And then this should be producing about 1070 steel pipe, which is currently being sunk. Now this will be going into assemblers later on, after we have the Caterium done. And that's the end of the line so far. So looking at my little diagram, we are going to need to have 41 refineries for the Caterium and 66 refineries for the copper. So in total 100 refineries. And we're going to build that over in the ocean, because we're going to use water for the pure recipes. Pure copper and pure Caterium. We just need to source some. There is an impure copper node over here, but I'm currently using that to make some cable. But it's not enough anyway. There is copper ore over here. Plenty of it, so I might pull from that. There's an impure one there. We need 1,000, so I'm going to use this. But we also need Caterium. There should be one here. There's a normal one. We need 1,000 Caterium. Is there any more Caterium nearby? That's the question. Oh. Okay, there's one here as well. And there's one all the way over there next to the uranium. It's a normal. That appears to be all that I can detect from this range. So I think I might try and pull from these two. Let's go have a look. I do like the lighting effects in this area. It might get old if I was here every single episode, but seeing it for the first time is quite nice. Ow. Is that a cave? Let's have a quick look. There might be something interesting. Treasures There may be treasures beyond your wildest imaginations. Or spider horrors, either or. Hello? There are spider horrors. There are spider horrors. That is fine. God, that's a root. Okay, I thought it was on the wall and I was about to lose my shit. Because that hasn't happened in the entirety of the game, and if it was just sat there on the wall, I would have... Hello. Ooh. I get to blow something up. Kaboom! So that's one Caterium ore. Hello, spider. I don't care for you very much. What was this? That is limestone. That is an egg. There is a summer sloop on the edge of an egg. Ah. One more Caterium. Kaboom! Ah. Cool, and there's power here as well. That's handy. So what I'm going to do now is ignore all of the collectibles. I'll come back and do that in a minute. I'm going to move the ore towards the ocean. How far away is that? It's not terribly far, but what I think I might do is, again as I did with the iron, I'm going to just build some ugly sky bridges. And then once the update hits, I can move the trucks onto this road and bring them down. That sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Alright, away I go. Ah! And here we have 2 lines of Caterium spaghetti, stretching across the archipelago and destroying all of its natural beauty. Ignore the big building. Gotta go and get the copper now. I have a sore throat today, can you tell? I can. Look at the Caterium. I hadn't seen it from this angle yet, I just did it. Ow.
Now I'm rolling through the valley, wind hums through my head. Yeah, I'm rolling through the valley, wind hums through my head. You can't tell my woman I'm gone, and I ain't coming back.
And we're back. This project got a bit bigger than I thought it'd be. It's actually taken up most of this archipelago. And yes, there are still sky bridges. So we saw this first bit over here. Turns out the other stuff is way bigger. So we go down this road over here, we have a lot of refineries. Now we do only need 1000 Caterium ore and 1000 copper ore, but I thought I would convert all 1200 ore that we are using, just so we have extra resources and the things can get backed up if we need them. So we have 1200 copper ore going into 80 refineries with 800 water. That is making 3000 copper ingots a minute on 4 lines. And then beside that, we have 50 more refineries, taking in 1200 Caterium ore, and underneath that 1200 water, and that is making 600 Caterium ingots on 1 line that's going underneath the road. And then we are taking all 3000 copper ingots and all 600 Caterium ingots. It's going into this big building with 80 assemblers, making way too much quick wire. We have 16 belts of it. It is making 7,200. We need 6,000, so we have some left over from where we are converting the ore, so that's good. Yes, all of this spaghetti, completely untidy for the time being, is hellish. And it's all going over there. Look at it all. So much quick wire. So we have 16 lines of quick wire. Each line contains 450 a minute. And what I'm doing is I'm taking 1 line of 450 and I'm bunging it into a pile of assemblers. We're also bringing in the plastic from before. So we have 32 assemblers here. And they're making AI limiters. So we have more quick wire than we need, but we're only producing a max of 800 plastic a minute. So we have 32 assemblers here, but we only need 28. And that'll be producing 228 AI limiters a minute. And then there's 8 more 450 lines of quick wire coming in. That's going into some more assemblers. Here we are pulling in the steel pipe from before. Now again, we have more quick wire than we need, but this is the maximum amount of steel pipe that we can produce because we only have so much oil and heavy oil residue being made into petroleum coke. So we're using 42 assemblers to make stators. That should be producing 342 a minute. And then the AI limiters and the stators continue on their spaghetti journey over to some more assemblers. Part of me is looking forward to making this place look good because I have some ideas of how I want to build a dock. Might be fun. Whoa! My truck went in the water because I wasn't paying attention to the road. Can I... Truck is submerged in water, cannot enter or use. Can I not, like, press X to relocate to place? Well, let's ignore that little hiccup. So there's 64 assemblers here. This is because we are producing 7,200 quick wire. So if we had more plastic in the future, this is how many assemblers we would need to turn all the quick wire into control rods. But at the moment, we have a maximum amount of oil, so we only need 57. And that is producing the control rods. How many are we producing at the moment? There are currently 178 a minute. I think things still need to fill up. I think it's the AI limiters that are slow at the moment. The stators are backed up pretty nicely. We should be producing 228 AI limiters a minute, and at the moment it's at 197. So that will slowly creep up to maximum. And here we are. Lots of control rods. And we're just sinking the excess. So, now we need to move this to the nuclear facility. We could train it. We could also truck it, which is probably the easiest solution. But I think I want to get some components, because I may want to look at drones before I do anything else. So I need... What do I need? I need some heavy modular frames and some high-speed connectors, which will require me to go all the way back to home base, because I have not been building those. So now that I have the resources for the drone ports, I'm going to ride my uranium train to the nuclear facility, and I'm going to place one end of the route there. So I'm at the nuclear facility. So now that I'm here, I'm going to go over this direction, and I'm going to place a drone presumably over here, right? Yes, right here, okay. Now, fueling the drone. So if you remember from a few episodes ago when I built all of the fuel rods, to deal with the nuclear waste, I sink plutonium rods. We are making plutonium fuel rods out of encased plutonium cells, steel beams, control rods, and heat sinks. And to deal with that, and to prevent waste and build-up, I sink the rods. However, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to place down... I have the thing for it. A smart splitter. Forward is going to be overflow. The left will be any. And here we should be taking out the plutonium fuel rods once they're made. Hopefully. I have no idea if this is going to work, but apparently you can fuel drones with plutonium fuel rods. Which seems like a very expensive kind of fuel for them, but I am currently sinking the rods, so it might be a good use. I'm going to sit here and get radiated until there is a fuel rod. And now. And now.
And now. Now. And here's one. And here's one. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. First try. Okay. There's no power. That might help, won't it? Okay, Oh. Oh. Okay. Works for me. Okay, so I'm going to build a buffer on this side. Where did that go? Okay. Like that. That fueled. There is fuel. Fuel type plutonium fuel rods. Okay. And then I'm going to go back over to the control rod factory and set up another drone port. Now the problem here is that drones don't have a large inventory space. And I am making control rods at about 200 a minute. So one drone might not be enough. Depending on how quickly or slow things transfer, I might need to use trucks or trains instead. But this might be a fun way to move them, especially if we can use the plutonium fuel rod. It's rather impressive how big this singular factory has become. Takes up this entire location. Transport. Drone port. Okay, we don't need a fuel slot, hopefully. We're going to put things in. Conveyor is too long. We shall do it messy. Okay, there is the control rods going into there. Bore spill. Nope, we need a rod Satisfactory. All ports. Nuclear rod, select destination. This factory. Then this factory goes to nuclear rod. Is the drone going? Do I have to go back and sort out the drone? Oh, it's moving. It's moving. It is moving. Alright, what the hell? Did the stations always have inventory on the map? Hello? That's weird. Docking stations don't. The drone ports have a UI on the map. That's interesting. Anyway. Wow, it moves quick, doesn't it? Maybe the throughput will be fine. Maybe. That's fine, as long as we can move them over there, we should be okay. Hello, drone! I'm going to attempt to ride you, but that's probably going to go poorly. Ooh. So as long as this drone moves more rods than the rod machine produces to fill up its inventory, we should be fine. I'm going to fall off. I fell. But I am going very speedy now. Oh my god. Oh my god. We might actually beat the drone over there. Hello, doggo. Whoa! Is it feeling alright? It's not quite the route I expected it to take. So how many rods does it move in one go? 9 stacks? 9 stacks. If the drone can carry 9 stacks a minute and we're producing about 200 rods a minute, that's going to fill up its inventory in 4.5 minutes. So as long as it does a round trip in 4.5 minutes, which I think it does, I'll have to time that properly to find out, but I think it might be okay. Why does it take that route? Why does it go through a floor? Suit yourself. Okay, so now we have this. We need to bring this down. We're going to connect it with our original rod line. Ha! So we are still making and bringing in the control rods from home base. I will leave those going because that might be a good backup if things go wrong. But we're now pulling in way more from our new factory. So this should be enough control rods completely, the amount of uranium on the map. All done. The rest of the game, hopefully. Unless we need to make control rods for a specific component that we haven't seen yet. Well, this should be done. So all we need to do now is take these different products and resources and hook those up to some more reactors. Which I need some more things. Yeah, I need supercomputers for. Obviously, in the future, we'll have to deal with plutonium power. But that's far-flung. I have no idea how much time this episode's going to take up. What I would like to do now... I would like to do some road stuff. So instead of rebuilding all of the roads and whatnot, I would like to build a blueprint that I can place onto each section of road to put in all of the different decorations and lights and stuff. Ow. Ow. Yeah, that's right. So, our roads are 3 tiles wide. I don't have any line patterns, do I? I'm going to buy all of these. Is that everything I can buy now? Have I bought everything? Looks like it. There's some specials that I haven't bought. This stuff. Golden Nut. Takes a lot of coupons. Buy all. Here we go. Hello, Ada.
Does not guarantee improvement of workplace readability, efficiency, or safety with use of these patterns, since the process of deployment is dependent on pioneer skill.
No, customizer. Ah, patterns. How does this work then? Center line. Ooh. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay. I think having streetlights on every single road tile might be a bit much. But I'll build one either way. We also want some sort of border for the road. We have barriers. I do have yes, don't I? What I was going to do is I was going to delete the foundation piece underneath, like this. That way I could just have the blueprint of the decorations and then place the blueprint on top of here. Ping. Well, that's troublesome, isn't it? It's okay. Good stuff. 2! I can just do this. Oh! Takes some getting used to. It might just be easier just to do this, right? I mean, yes. But I didn't want to place everything else individually as well, that's the problem. Where's the center line? There we go. Like that. Curves are interesting, huh? So here is my blueprint of a curve for the road. I need some edging. It actually looks half decent. That seems fine. What I need to do... Concrete pillar? Delete the foundations. Delete that. We're left with a curve boundary. Blueprints. Road, curve, wall. Okay, that does lock on. Move it down 2. And move it over. Ah! How much space does the truck need? That's alright, that means we can encroach a little bit then. So if I took this all of the way... That's the better option so far, isn't it? Perhaps it makes more sense to put the streetlight on the boundary here. I mean, hook them up like that. Ah! Let there be light. Where's the, signs, right? Signs. That's a small sign. That's a big sign. Ah! Text. Nuclear. I cannot believe I spelled that so blindingly wrong. I can change the layout, right? Yes. Like that. Ooh, I can have a big arrow. Or a number. Can I change? I can. Apply. Yes. Ooh. Okay, I like that. So we can have direction signs. I'd also like to tidy up the underside. Hello? Hi? Would you like to be shot? Like to run off the cliff of your own will? There you go. Have fun. I could just build a pillar like that. Because I'm sometimes uncreative. Pillar like that. They're gonna go into the floor, isn't it? It is... We could go like that. Unconvinced. How have I managed that? How... You know what? That's fine. Sure. That way. Apply. Confirm. Oh yeah, it's upside down. I immediately forgot it's upside down. Does that look any better? I mean, it might do, actually. Would there be any reason to do that? Like, zigzag it. It's a thing to consider, isn't it? I'm going to stop doing that. My brain is melting. Well, with that unexciting thing out of the way, let's head back to the rod factory for a moment. Object scanner. I need Marsospheres. Hello? Marsosphere. Ah. That's a Marsosphere. Consume. 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 Oh. Hey.
Listen to the rhythm.
I'm listening to the rhythm. I wonder if I've used up all of the audio logs you get from doing this. Because I haven't heard one in a while.
Live, laugh, consume.
Okay, which one of these lions is moving the least? I say that, they're all somewhat getting used, aren't they? Here we go. Ha! All of the lights you could possibly want. So that's that. I'm now going to go away and decorate this entire place between episodes. I'm going to try and get some buildings in and do the road decorations. Hopefully next time you see me, this place will actually look half decent. So I'm going to end this here. Next time I'm going to go back to the dissolved silica and revisit the factories for the circuit boards and the high-speed connectors. But until then, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I shall see you all next time. Cheerio.